This is the book of John, chapter 4, verse 22. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. Verse 23. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. Verse 24. Yahweh is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahushai is his son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who ruled well and taught me this truth. And salutation to the Yakim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life to do so for Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And the reason why I brought out the book of John, chapter 4, verse 22 through 24, all right, is because, you know, we still got a lot of our people who think that everybody can be saved, right? That this Bible right here is written for everybody, all right, that believes, all right? And that's not the case, and that's not true, all right? Because even Yahushua told that Samaritan woman, all right, that salvation is of the Jews and that you worship what you know not what, all right? And that's why I'm bringing this lesson out, is because I came across an article from the Haaretz, all right, which they clearly, literally are stating the same thing that we here at Great Millstone have been saying, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, that salvation is only for the Israelites, okay? And that's why you gotta, okay, get into the history of this Bible, all right? And you gotta stop this whole Christianity madness, all right? And really get into the history and the historical, okay, events that happened, all right, when Israel split as a kingdom, all right, northern and southern kingdom. And I'm gonna get into that, all right? So now let's get into this article, all right? Because this is beautiful that I came across this, and this has, of course, it's through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai for leading me to find this article. It says, archaeologists find Samaritan Lord's winepress in central Israel. As the nearby mosaic says in Greek, only God helped the beautiful property of Master Adius. Amen. Right. And it was written in Greek. All right. Just proving how many times, all right, our land has been transitioned over from different heathens. All right. Starting with the Assyrian captivity. And the Assyrians were bringing in different nations. Okay. Then it was Babylon. All right. Ancient Babylon. Then it was ancient Greece. Romans, all right, different nations, okay, taking over that land, all right, and then what? Allowing other heathens to go into that land, all right. So now let's get into this article, and the Bible's gonna explain all this. As the Samaritan culture reached its acme in central Israel 1600 years ago, a man named Adius was doing spectacularly well, it seems. Archaeologists conducting a salvage excavation ahead of the construction of a new neighborhood in the central Israeli town of Zernatan haven't found his manse yet, but they have found his wine press, from which he may well have supplied the young Byzantine Empire's mania for wine from the Holy Land, right? And that also proves that you have heathens even during the Byzantine Empire, okay, following after the customs of the ancient Israelites, all right? And it's going to get into this. The finds have been dated to early 5th century, when the Samaritan community in the Holy Land was at its peak. We know the wine press the archaeologists found was Edis, not somebody else, that he had done very well for himself because of a mosaic on the wine press floor. The mosaic is 2.5 meters in length and 1 meter high, and although its lettering is a tad crude, it clearly says only God helped the beautiful property of Master Edis. Amen. Right. You have heathens, okay, taking on the customs of the Israelites. Now watch this. Check this out. I'm just going to get to the point. It says, Good Samaritans are convenient ones. Though often called a breakaway tribe from the ancient Israelites, the original Samaritans were possibly not native to Israel at all. You hear that? The original Samaritans were possibly not native to Israel at all. All right? That's why Yahushua told that Samaritan woman at the well, ye worship what ye know not what. We know what we worship for salvation of the Jews. All right? Because she was a heathen taking on the customs of the Israelites. All right? Now let's get into this article again, because watch what it says. It says, the Bible itself claims the Samaritans were moved from Iraq to Israel to use today's nomenclature by the Assyrians. According to that account, the Samaritans came from Kuta and other cities in today's Iraq in the 8th or 7th century BC. Right. So they were moved into that land. Okay. And the Bible makes the account of it. Let's go to 2 Kings. That's why you got to get into the history, all right, of these scriptures, man. That's why so-called that Christianity, all right, those so-called Christians, they ain't got the truth, man. They're not, okay, preaching the truth in spirit, all right, in the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, because the Lord's not dealing with them, man, all right? Because when you go into the history, it clearly makes sense, all right, that the Lord only came for Israelites, and the Israelites got scattered. Why? Because they broke the law, statutes, and commandments, which is going to explain it right here. This is the book of 2 Kings, because this is pertaining to the northern kingdom. 2 Kings, chapter 17, and I'm going to start at 22. For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did, they departed not from them. Right, because what did Jeroboam did? All right, he started resurrecting idols. Let me go there real quickly. All right, 1 Kings, chapter 12, and I'm going to start at 25. Then Jeroboam built Shechem and Mount Ephraim, right? Because Jeroboam, all right, he was an Ephraimite, all right, from the tribe of Ephraim, okay, what you would call a so-called Puerto Rican today. All right, my people, all right, bug outs. The Jeroboam built Shechem and Mount Ephraim and dwelt therein, and went out from thence and built Penu. Verse 26. And Jeroboam said in his heart, now shall the kingdom return to the house of David. Verse 27. If this people go up to do sacrifice in the house of the Lord at Jerusalem, then shall the heart of this people turn again unto their Lord, even unto Rehoboam king of Judah, and they shall kill me and go again to Rehoboam king of Judah. Right, so Jeroboam being wicked, all right, because he still wanted to follow after the ways of the heathens, all right, mainly follow after the ways of Egypt, all right. He was like, oh, if they start worshiping, okay, the Most High again, following after King Rehoboam of the southern kingdom, all right, then they're going to kill me, all right, because I'm still worshiping idols. So what did Jeroboam did, all right? Check this out, verse 28. Whereupon the king took counsel and made 2 calves of gold and said unto them, it is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem. Behold, thy gods of Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. Right, so he was saying, hey, you know, it's going to take you a while to go to Jerusalem. Hey, I got your gods right here, the gods of Egypt. All right, the 2 calves. Verse 29, and he set the one in Bethel, and the other put he in Dan. Verse 30, and this thing became a sin, for the people went to worship before the one, even unto Dan. Verse 31, and he made a house of high priests, and made priests of the lowest of the people, which are not of the sons of Levi. Right, he didn't go to the Levites. All right, he was choosing different Israelites among northern kingdom as priests. All right, completely against what the Lord said, man. You're supposed to use the Levites, which are the so-called Haitians, as a mediator back then before Yahushua came to the scene, all right? That's the reason why the Lord jacked up northern kingdom. Now let's go to, so you got the history on that. So now let's go back to 2 Kings, chapter 17, verse 22. For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did. They departed not from them, right? Worshipping after that calf, okay? Going back to Egypt, verse 23. Unto the Lord removed Israel out of his sight, as he had said by all of his servants the prophets. So was Israel, northern kingdom, carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day. Right, so the Assyrian, okay, kingdom, all right, the Assyrian empire took the northern kingdom out of that land. And so who went into that land? Check this out. Verse 24. The king of Assyria brought men from Babylon and from Cutha and from Ava, and from Hamath, and from Zepharim, and placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel, and they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof. Verse 25, and so it was at the beginning of their dwelling there that they feared not the Lord. Therefore the Lord sent lions among them, which slew some of them. Right. All right. Because these heathens came in and they didn't fear the Lord. They were doing whatever wickedness they were doing because they're heathens. The Lord sent lions among them. All right. And then it goes on and says, verse 20, wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria, saying, the nations which thou hast removed and placed in the city of Samaria know not the manner of the God of the land. Therefore he hath sent lions among them, and behold, they slay them, because they know not the manner of the God of the land. Verse 27, then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, carry thither one of the priests whom ye brought from thence, and let them go and dwell there, and let them teach them the manner of the God of the land. That's why that Samaritan one was saying about, oh, this is, let me get to it real quickly, all right? Because you had a northern kingdom, the Assyrian Empire. The Assyrian king took a northern kingdom priest and put them back into Israel, and it was telling that northern kingdom, more likely an Ephraimite, hey, teach these heathens the ways of that land, all right? So they don't get attacked by these lions. Let's go back to, but let me get to the book of John, chapter 4, where the Samaritan woman told Yahushua this. John chapter 4, verse 10. And Yahushua answered and said unto her, if thou knowest the gift of the Most High, and I'll start at 9. Then saith the woman of Samaria unto him, how is it thou, being a Jew, askest to drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. Right, because she was a heathen, all right? Verse 10. Yahushua answered and said unto her, if thou knowest the gift of the Most High, and who it is that saith to thee, give me to drink, thou wouldest have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. Verse 11. And right, so the Lord's like playing with her, okay? Talking in Proverbs, because Yahushua knew she was a heathen, and she wasn't going to get it, because she's not coming in spirit and in truth, because she's a heathen. Verse 11. The woman saith unto him, sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From when hast thou that living water? See, because she didn't have any understanding, because she's not an Israelite. Verse 12. Art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well, and drank thereof himself, and his children, and his cattle? Right, so she's thinking, all right, that she comes from the lineage of Jacob, all right? Because, hey, this is during the time of the Roman period, all right? That's why you got to know your history. You got to know your timeline, all right? So this is many generations after. So it would make sense that these heathens would think that they're Israelites all of a sudden, all right? Thinking that they're, okay, that they're the descendants of Jacob, if they've been dwelling that land and keeping, okay, some of the customs of that land, all right? So, and then that's why Yahushua said unto her, ye worship what ye know not what. We would know what we worship for salvation of the Jews. Because he was literally telling, you're a heathen, man. All right, you have nothing to do with salvation. So let's get back to the second, 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 27. Then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, carry thither one of the priests whom ye brought from thence, and let them go and dwell there, and let him teach them the manner of the Most High of the land. Verse 28. Then one of the priests whom they have carried away from Samaria came and dwelt in Bethel. Right, one of the Israelites from the northern kingdom that got taken out and put into the Assyrian captivity, came in, dwelt in Bethel, and taught them how they should fear the Lord. Verse 29. Howbeit every nation, notice, look at this. Howbeit every nation made gods of their own, and put them in the house of the high places which the Samaritans had made. Every nation in their cities wherein they dwelt. You see that? So there was more, okay, than one nation dwelling in that land where Northern Kingdom was dwelling at. All right, there was many nations dwelling there, and they were worshiping their own gods, okay, while fearing the Most High and keeping certain customs so that they wouldn't have a lion or attack them again. All right, but they were still worshiping idols in their own house, okay, according to their own nation. Verse 30. And the men of Babylon made Sukkot Benoth, and the men of Cuth made Nergal, and the men of Hamath made Ashma. Verse 31. And the Abiites made Nibhaz and Tartek, and the Zipparites burnt their children in fire to Adram Melech. Wow, they were burning, these heathens were burning their children, worshiping their gods, man. That goes to show you that there ain't no salvation for these heathens, man. They're doing exactly what the secret societies do now, because they're heathens, man. Esau, Edom, all right? Found that, okay, dude, because there's nothing new under the sun. Sacrificing children has been going on since the ancient times, man. Now it's only now being conducted in secrecy. Well, until now, the internet is now exposing it. All right? Burnt their children in the fire of Adram, Melech, and Anam, Melech, the gods of Zepharvim. Verse 32. So they feared the Lord and made unto themselves the lowest of them priests of the high places, which sacrificed for them in the houses of high places. All right, so they even made their own priests. All right? All right, trying to keep after some of the customs of the Israelites. Verse 33. They feared the Lord and served their own gods after the manner of the nations who they carried away from thence. Right. All right, so they still were worshiping their own gods. Verse 34. Unto this day they do after the former manners. They fear not the Lord, neither do they after their statutes, or after their ordinances, or after the law and commandment which the Lord commanded the children of Jacob, and whom he named Israel. Right. So even though they had a priest go in there to teach them how to fear the Lord, all right, eventually they said, "The hell with that. We're not fearing the God of Israel. We're going to do our own things and follow our own gods and our own customs." All right. All right. And then you had some heathens that were just like, "Yeah, I'll take on some of the customs of being in Israel, but I'm still going to do my own traditions from my own people, my own origins of a nation." All right. So yeah, so that proves that Samaritan woman wasn't an Israelite. She was thinking that she was an Israelite, but she was a heathen. The Lord literally told her she didn't know what she was worshiping. All right, she was still doing customs as a heathen, because she is a heathen, and that's it. All right. So now let's continue on. So Lord will now is edifying that part. There's one more I want to bring out because it gets better. It says, and then it gives you the scripture here. It says 2 Kings 17 and 24, and the king of Assyria, right, in this article, all right, which I'll put this article in the description. And then it goes on, it says, quote, "It was part of the population exchange," says Torch. "They took the Israelites to Iraq and brought in Samaritans from Iraq to Israel." Right. So that goes to show you that, all right, the Assyrians put heathens into that land, all right, and then took the Israelites, Northern Kingdom, out of that land, all right. Why would the Assyrians swap the people? Because in their experience in conquering others, which was pretty vast, they had evidently realized it takes about half a century to establish a regime in a new country. You see that? Half a century. So, hey, there's nothing new under the sun. Hey, anytime a country invades another country, you want to put your own people in there, all right, and change the culture and the customs of that land, all right, so you can continue in that power. Same thing what Esau, Edom, these so-called Americans did to the Gad and Reuben, all right, assimilation. There's nothing new on the sun. This has been going on since ancient times, all right. By uprooting the recalcitrant locals, the Israelites, who were transported to the right under the Assyrian thumb, and moving their Samaritan people to the new country, they could have gained political control faster, right? All right, because who was still standing there in the way? The southern kingdom, Judah. So that's why the Assyrians sent all the nations in there, all right, and they were like, hey, try to understand their culture and their customs. So, okay, we get a better understanding of these Israelites. All right, and that's, try to build a treaty with them, but it didn't work because, hey, check this out. It gets better. The article goes on and says, while the origins are murky, let alone the evolution of their relationship, Samaritans today is definitely closely related to Judaism. All right, that's neither here or there, because it just said that heathens came into the land and they were trying to take on the customs, but they're still heathens. The two people celebrate many parallel holidays, including Passover, albeit not necessarily at the same time. Otherwise, there were some disagreements. Samaritans had claimed that their traditions are closer to the original religion of the ancient Israelites before the Israelites exiled to Babylon in 587 BCE. Right, because this is talking about the southern kingdom, Judah. All right, because Judah went into the Babylonian captivity because the northern kingdom already got taken out of their land because they were breaking the law, statutes, and commandments. Their tradition says that over there, their Israelite worship became corrupted and that Judaism, as we know it, would arise from the amended religion of the people who came back from Babylon. The ancient Jews, for their part, apparently felt the Samaritans were religious parvenists. Even the Jewish Roman historian Josephus had an ancient axe to grind, calling the apostates of the Judean nation, right? Calling them the apostates, right? Because they were actors, man. They wanted to be like a Jew, but they aren't a Jew. Just like you have these Amalek, all right? They want to take on the customs of the Jews, but they're the synagogue of Satan. In fact, hey, Revelation chapter 3, might as well get it. 3, verse 9, behold, I will make them the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Right, but do lie, man. They're saying they're Jews, but they're not, man. All right, because they don't follow law, statutes, and commandments. These heathens, they got these fake Jews, these Israelis. They got Pink City in Tel Aviv, man. Come on, man. They promote homosexuality. All right, they allow all types of abominations to be worshipped in the statehood of Israel, man. I will make them come and worship before thy feet and know that I have loved thee. Right, and that's what the Lord's going to do. He's going to make sure these heathens worship us, man. All right, because we are the true descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, all right? And that's why we say salvation is only for the Israelites, all right? Just like Yahushua said, salvation is of the Jews, to that Samaritan who was a heathen. So let's get back to this article. It says, though the Jews and Samaritans did sometimes allies, for instance, against yet later conquerors, there were tensions. When the Jews set about building the second temple in Jerusalem, with the blessing of Babylon's mighty King Cyrus, the local Samaritans apparently wanted to be part of the great endeavor, but were rejected. The Samaritans then tried to foil the works, arguing that building a glorious temple bordered on idolatry and was corruption of correct worship. Right, and this goes to Ezra, chapter 4. All right, so hey man, this article literally is proving, okay, what we here at Great Millstone through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shai has been, okay, what we've been saying. That salvation is only for the Israelites. Because look what in Ezra, all right? Hey, this is a historical piece right here, man. So Lord willing, this was edifying. Let's get to the point. Ezra chapter 4, verse 1. And now when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of captivity builded the temple unto the Lord power of Israel, verse 2, then they came to Zerubbabel and the chief of the fathers and said unto them, let us build with you, for we seek your power as ye do, and we do sacrifice unto him since the days of Azar-Adon, king of Assur, which brought us up hither. Right, going back to the kingdom of Assyria, man. All right, so they're telling the history. Hey, we've been worshiping since the time of the Assyrian Empire. But watch what the southern kingdom said, all right? Verse 3, but Zerubbabel and Jeshua, and the rest of chief of fathers of Israel said unto him, ye have nothing to do with us to build a house unto our power, but we ourselves together will build unto the Lord Yahweh of Israel, as King Cyrus the king of Persia hath commanded us. You see that? So, hey, the southern kingdom Israelites, all right, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, they were like, hey, man, you have nothing to do, okay, with our power. You're a heathen, all right? All right, you can say all you want that you're sacrificing unto our Lord, but we know what you're doing over there, okay, in the what they call Samaria, all right? Because the northern kingdom was out of that land, so it was known as Samaria. All right, you're worshiping idols, all right? You're a heathen. You have nothing to do with, okay, the law, statutes, and commandments that were given to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right? Verse 4, then the people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah and troubled them in building, and hired counselors against them to frustrate their purpose all the days of Cyrus the king of Persia, even unto the reign of Darius king of Persia. Right. So they stopped the building of the second temple until the Persian king Darius came into power and said, no, you can build your temple. All right. So, hey, Lord willing, this edify. Hey, once again, hey, this news article, this came out February 27th, 2019. All right. It literally goes into the history of heathens trying to take on the customs and cultures of us. All right. And they even said that, hey, they are not the original natives of Israel. That's why Yahushua told that Samaritan woman, ye worship what ye know not what. Excuse me, let me say it again. I don't want to mess it up. All right, back to the book of John. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. John chapter 4 verse 22. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. And that's it, man. All right, so Lord willing, edifying. Hey, once again, all right, Salakia for a little tongue twist. All right, but the proof is in the pudding. Salvation is only for the Israelites. Only the elect are going to understand this. The rest of you are blinded. Hey, Romans chapter 11. I'm gonna get to it because hey, you're gonna have scoffers say, "Oh, well, that was ancient times. We're living in modern times." John 3:16. You don't know what the hell you're talking about, man. Romans chapter 11 verse 16. But chapter 11 verse 7. What then? Israel not obtained that which he seeketh for? Right, because Israel's looking for answers, all right? Especially what's going on in this day and age, all right? All the commotion, all the rumors of wars, all right? What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for? But the election have attained it, and the rest were blinded. Right, you were blinded. That's why you 2/3 are not going to get this, man. Even though it's pretty much self-explanatory. Verse 8, according as it is written, Yahweh have given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day. Verse 9, and David said, let their table be made a snare, and a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense unto them. Verse 10, let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and how down their back always. Right, so the Lord didn't want you to get this, right? That's why you're not going to understand about, okay, the historical portion of why you have heathens taking on our customs, even onto this very day, all right? Because, hey, man, wouldn't you want to be part of a great power, or who's going to give you the kingdom of heaven, all right? It only makes sense, right? If you read this book and you see how powerful it is, don't you want to be part of that power? But guess what? This book is exclusive. It's only for the children of Israel. So, and the elect are going to understand that, all right? The 12 tribes of Israel, and that's within them is the elect, because 2/3 ain't going to understand. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. Once again, hey, even these articles are literally stating what we've been saying all along, all right? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. With that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Bukakwadash. Double honors to the apostle of Great Millstone who grew well and taught me this truth. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life to do so for Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep enduring, keep the faith. And with that, Shalom.